Radiant team ban.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GGuard challenge. This is going to be game 2 in the best of 3 between GGuard and 5eva. Currently GGuard leading one game after, I would say, a questionable draft from 5eva. Hopefully for them they tighten up the screws and then get back to a chance of winning $500. But for right now, we're going to see if that comes down in the draft. I'm Mikelrus, going to be one of your casters. Heflamoke is here as well. I just think that if 5eva draft differently, they'll have a much better chance of winning, man. It's as simple as that.
Yes, I mean it was a combination of draft and some mistakes made on the way. I think Miracle, it was not his best game. Usually he's very decent on a quad, but like the problem is this draft, this kind of game setup, it demanded of him that he had to go split push a lot, and GGuard, they were very well prepared for what's to come. They knew exactly, okay, Miracle or Tinker, they're gonna be somewhere alone on the lane, and they just ganked them really, really well. He got caught out like 3, 4, 5 times, I think, and well, that stopped all the farm. It stopped that potentially a good fight comes out. And if you think about this, Mike, we never had a 5-on-5 fight, not a single one. It was all small skirmishes around key positions on the map, small ganks that resulted into capitalizing on a tower, on a push, on Roshan, but never a full 5-on-5. I really wanted to see that. Also, I wanted to see the Tinker in action. It never happened, and therefore the outcome was, yeah, not surprising. GGuard wins it and secures their $500 for now, at least.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to be very unlikely that 5eva are going to run the Tinker back and then try to look for, last game to go correctly in this game. It just is too much risk, and after last game they probably want to avoid that like the plague. It's going to be a little bit of a swap now. Juggernaut will stay on the Dire side, Queen of Pain will stay on the Radiant, but it's going to be Lina to grab and 5eva. This is a much better game plan already, I think. Like, this is a game plan where you can go super aggressive and you can just be fine with that, or you could slow things down, ramp up the Juggernaut's farm, and then just tear them all to shreds in the late game.
Yep, I'm pretty surprised actually that, I don't know, I had a longer break in casting. Obviously most people here at HeflaTV know that, but the Magnus, like every second game I cast the last 3 days pretty much, it's a Magnus. I don't know why all these Magnuses are coming out, but apparently they are here. The only problem is I have a bit of sweet taste with the Magnus pick. So far I was not really impressed. Yesterday I had a Magnus actually winning, but 2 Magnuses before that, they were completely off with their RPs, barely used them, barely got to use them, mostly used only for one-man gank, so I'm looking forward if that's gonna be a very convincing Magnus here.
It really comes down to how well the lane goes for Magnus, and Magnus, to start things off in lane, isn't really that strong. Like versus either a core Lina or a core Queen of Pain, he'll be under a lot of pressure. Shockwave spam is going to have to keep him alive, so if he gets a slower Blink Dagger, then the worse and worse the Magnus's game becomes. For a lighter hero, like if he is going to go towards an offlane or something and not have that much farm, he can still get value just by empowering a Juggernaut, but that is really like not easy to see the impacts of that, and Empower is not really a skill that you want to be leveling until the mid game, where Juggernaut is actually already doing some damage, so you could accelerate some sort of farm that's already existing. So it is potentially risky opening up with this combo, but he is seen so commonly these days that he would be a pretty frequent ban out if you already grab a Juggernaut. So 5eva, they grab the combo, and then they're just going to have to hope that it works. They have a couple of teamfight bans, though. GGuard are going to make sure that this Magnus isn't going to have a super devastating time with that RP.
Yep, definitely, and I'm also quite surprised that, I mean, first 5eva, they come out with a crazy magic draft, and now GGuard is saying, yo guys, you just failed with that. You really failed, and we show you how it's really done. Laguna played, the Zeus, the whole bundle, obviously, like a huge chunk of magic damage, and the Queen of Pain. This is just nuts what's coming out right now, so I don't know if Karma is striking back, and maybe GGuard is failing now on such a magic draft, but at the moment it looks like they really want to just replicate it. Tiny different heroes, obviously. The Queen of Pain is the only constant right now, but let's see what else there is to come. Maybe something to amplify it, or maybe just having those 3 plus some physical coming in now.
Yeah, they could always grab the super late game hero and then just be fine with these 3 heroes holding down the fort. I'm kind of feeling a support Zeus right now, although really all 3 of these heroes currently picked up by GGuard do frequent core rolls and can go towards the mid lane, and all three of which will probably stomp Magnus in the ground, or at least have an advantageous lane. So for GGuard, their lane's looking pretty darn dangerous right now. 5-ever they grab the Vengeful Spirit. They are looking to Voltron up this Juggernaut, maybe grab an Ogre Magi even for some extra Voltroning. But they have extra damage with the minus armor and the aura from Vengeful Spirit and the Empower. Juggernaut looking to go off in this game. Probably will run some difficulty though, as Faceless Void is picked up by GGuard. There's their physical damage output.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the physical damage we were looking for. Of course, he's not one of those heroes that is, I don't know, standing in the front lines because he's easily nuked down. But of course, with the Chronosphere, you have the opportunity to get certain targets down. Magnus before he does the RP, Juggernaut before he does the Omnislash. And, I mean, Laguna played, the Zeus and the Queen of Pain, they can alone, as they are, already nuke a target down. The Faceless Void for a setup, if he gets, let's say, a 3-man Chronosphere, then those three I just mentioned, they take down one. The Faceless Void a second one, and then you transition into a fight, which means for the other teams already running away because there's no way of, I don't know, turning this around. We have to see how this works out. You still need to make that Chronosphere, and that's what it comes down to. But also on the other side, the big call will be the RP. So RP or Chronosphere Whiffed is a big 5-on-5 teamfight decider, if we ever see a 5-on-5 here.
Yeah, hopefully that will happen sometime in this game. But already with 5-ever grabbing 3 melee heroes, it's going to be a lot easier for GGuard to land a decent Chronosphere, just because they will tend to clump up. Maybe Magnus will have his Blink Dagger, Juggernaut with a lot of movement speed will make it so that it's not just a complete free Chronosphere, but when you have 3 melee heroes, there are disadvantages associated with that, that being one of them, whereas for GGuard, they have pretty mobile heroes, like Lena's pretty quick, Queen of Pain, Faceless Void, obviously with their blinks, are going to be much more difficult to lock down if you're a Magnus and you're looking for an RP. We have the Silencer getting banned out right now from 5-ever, making sure that that team fight isn't going to happen from GGuard, and GGuard are going to take out the Viper, the magic resistant hero that we saw just wreck 5-ever in the last game. GGuard may be still looking for a little bit more physical damage right now. They could have Zeus, Lena as their 2 supports, lots of damage, low lockdown. It's going to be a Sand King for them actually, so they're going pretty deep into this team fight magic damage combo.
There's the
No,
Sand
that
King.
wasn't even close to anything.
Oh, come on.
No.
Okay, yeah. I
No.
accept. I accept it.
Bad, Heflamoke. Bad.
But
don't do that
but
again.
still, there is definitely some synergy there. We saw a lot of Sand Kings going with the Epicenter into Chronospheres and everything. But now, of course, with the Beastmaster, Ogre, Vengeful Spirit, as well as Magnus, we have a quadruple stun and potential initiate, a swap also in and out of the Chronosphere. So I think 5-ever they are ready for the Chronosphere. I definitely like what they draft here. So either the Magnus comes before the Magnus comes before the Chronosphere and stops it pretty much in its beginning. The Vengeful Spirit could save a target that's in there. Beastmaster could also, with the Blink Dagger, then initiate on the Faceless Void, nuke him down, follow-up stuns with the Magic Missile and the Fire Blast. So yes, I think they're well prepared. This time, I like the draft. I like the response each team made here. It really comes down to laning and how they transition into those fights.
I mean, I like 5-ever's draft because it's very different from what they tried to do last game, so just that change of pace will give them a much better chance, I would say, of taking this one. But I mentioned before that they had 3 melee heroes, now they have a 4th. Like, even though they do have a good amount of stuns, so that should a Chronosphere land, they will be able to interrupt that the damage output that follows the Chronosphere. They are still going to be prone to 2 3-man Chronospheres very easily, as long as the Faceless Void is on point. 5-ever have gone really deep into Voltroning up this Juggernaut, and Juggernaut, yeah, he'll have everything to buff him up. Literally every single other hero has their contributions to this Juggernaut, so he will be an absolute beast if he is left unchecked. But the greatest checking tool in the game is Chronosphere. It stops everything every single time, and if Miracle gets caught in that, if there's no swap out from Chibix, and then if they lose their Juggernaut, 5-ever can no longer fight. It's as simple as that.
Yep, definitely. That's pretty much how I can also see it like unfolding on us here. So either way, guys, GGuard challenge, $500 on the line. GGuard plays today against 5-ever. Out of 3 series so far, they only gave away once $500, and this was pretty close. So far, GGuard really looked good. You can write as much as you want that Winter is noob or GGuard is noob whatsoever. I'm really convinced they have a good chance, especially with bigger tournaments, TI, etc. coming. In the C scene, GGuard is definitely looking good, and I like that they do this challenge here, showing that how superior they are to, like, in comparison to other C teams. But if 5-Ever agrees on that, that's the good question. They have one more chance now with this game to come back, make it a free game series, which I would love, obviously. C Dota is always a lot of action. Either way, let's go for the introduction. Mike, which side do you prefer?
I'll do the Radiant again. We got Yamate this time. He's going to be playing the Queen of Pain. Winter's going to be playing the Zeus. You got Net on his trademarked Sand King, and Ling is going to be handling the Lina. And of course leaves Ben on the Faceless Void. The lanes, GGuard might be a little bit awkward with Zeus off lane, but as long as they get protected far into Void, they should be fine.
Yep, and on the other side we have Mask this time playing the Magnus. So I have to say it again. I know I'm repetitive today, but his Tinker was really underwhelming in my opinion. So let's see if the Magnus is going to be something. Miracle, this time playing the Juggernaut. He was just sick of playing co-op versus Juggernaut. Now he's turning it all around. Isera is playing the Beastmaster. We have Jibix on the Vengeful Spirit, and Polosan from Rubik to Ogre Magi this time. Polosan actually did quite a good job. He got caught out here and there, but he also made some nice little trades where he got experience and farm. So for now, it's... let's see. I mean, I was kind of happy with his Rubik. I think he did a decent job last game.
Yeah, and well, this time for really all of 5-Ever, they're going to be playing heroes that are so different from their last ones. Like Tinker to Mag, that's a huge change. Queen of Pain to Juggernaut, that's like day and night. Same thing for Ogre Magi from Rubik. Like 5-Ever, they're shifting pretty much every single one of their gears. Ysera is still on that, tanky initiator, so he's going to be a little bit more comfortable there, a little bit warmed up perhaps. But for 5-Ever, I think after last game, definitely do have to do something like this. Just switch up as many things as they can possibly switch up, and then hope that is enough for them to actually draw a victory right now. We have a little bit of a standoff for this top rune. It looks like that probably should be picked up by 5-Ever Faceless Void. Doesn't really want to get into a fight right now, although he does have the Lina right behind him. Miracle's Blade Fury is going to reign supreme, so it's going to be probably the lanes that were expected right now. Yamate's actually... maybe that's not going to be the lanes expected. This Queen of Pain has a very heavy stat build, a lot of regen though. She is positioned to go towards the bottom lane.
Yep, and I think this time we have actually a nice fight around the Bounty Rune at the moment. Miracle going ahead here. There's the minus armor coming out, and Spin to win the Magnus at the moment. Not doing anything. Time walk out in the end. They're gonna lose both Bounty Runes for pretty much no result, and that Fire Blast, that was also just a little... hello? Like 50 damage, woohoo. I'm not really sure what that was, but GGuard, well, I guess they're happy. They got 2 Bounty Runes and nobody lost anything on the way.
Yeah, just minor amounts of mana expended there, so that was even a pretty good wave from the Vengeful Spirit. Just hitting through 3 heroes, that's a lot of armor being reduced, but if you can't actually follow up with physical attacks, of which 5-Ever I don't think landed a single one, then that wave is just a very bad skill. So yeah, it is GGuard to already start things off at a nice advantage for them. Then their lanes, they're going to put Ben on the Faceless Void over in the mid lane. This is something that is only really possible because there's a Magnus on the other end. Magnus not really a super strong laner, therefore you put a little bit more of a greedy pick there for GGuard. It can very easily be punished, however, by 5-Ever with the Vengeful Spirit, Ogre Magi to roam in. Ben has to be very, very careful about how he runs this lane.
Yeah, and right now they're just talking some stuff. And I don't understand, but like general greeting, meow, that works ever since World of Warcraft.
That actually got you places with just saying hello?
Yeah, I mean, World of Warcraft was I don't know, ni hao is the best thing I remember about World of Warcraft, obviously. Like after 10 years alongside
that
with
sounds
Chinese
absolutely
bots.
terrible.
No, it's pretty cool.
Commercials for Blizzard anytime soon.
Hey, when I was playing World of Warcraft competitively, we actually, everybody was against Chinese farmers. We actually had them on our side because they were farming for our guilds. There were actually, I mean, you have certain fans of certain guilds and everything that were actually Chinese farmer. They said like, man, my bots are farming so much, we can give you here and this and this and that. And if you remember in classic times, vanilla times of World of Warcraft, some stuff was really worth a lot. Black Lotus, for all those people who played the game, they know what I mean. Lotus? Black Lotus, you remember that?
No, that's a magic card, dude.
No, Black Lotus was a herb, and you needed it for Flask, and it spawned like every 48 hours or every 24 hours, and they were just like worldwide in whole Azeroth and everything. There was just, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 spots or so where it spawned with multiple, on big servers, with guilds that tried to raid and everything. everybody was camping. You actually had people assigned to that spot, just camping it. But
Wow,
let's
that
go back
sounds
to
so
Dota.
exciting. I can't believe I missed playing that. My childhood would not have been complete without that game.
It was an amazing
Exhilaration.
game. Shut up.
Dude, I never played World of Warcraft. Perhaps it makes me a bad gamer, but I'm okay with
Yes.
it.
Yes, it does make you a bad gamer. That's why you're so bad in Dota.
Yeah. Just no big deal, guys. Just have the highest MMR in HeflaTV easily.
Shut up. It's just because I don't play it anymore.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't play either, dude. You can throw all your excuses out. Oh, man.
Oh, by the
Black
way,
Lotus, though. Black Lotus is a premium Magic the Gathering card. It's worth like several $1,000s if you find one that's in decent condition.
see, there I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. See? I could be a nerd, too. Very
No,
easily.
but like the first card game I ever played was really by Blizzard, Hearthstone, and that was, I don't know, I still hate
Jeez.
the game. I try to do my dailies every day, but then oh god, I hate the
You're
game
like,
so
wait,
much.
I don't have any legendaries. Why am I playing this game?
Hey, I have actually tons of legendaries. I'm really lucky with that crap, but the biggest problem I have is that I hate games that are so full of RNG. Like trying to do my daily and there's some noob coming with no proper deck and he's just locking me away, going face hunter, control warrior, whatever bullshit there is. It's a horrible. Like for my blood pressure, Hearthstone is the worst game ever. It's pretty much the same level as Dota 2 ranked. When it's really, if you really want to farm some ranked and you get teams where they go AFK or emo out or whatsoever, my blood pressure, well, if my doctor knew my blood pressure while gaming, they would recommend dropping esports completely.
Jeez, can I get a PJ Salt from everyone in the chat? Because it sounds like someone is upset with RNG.
Oh,
little
come on,
bit.
I'm 30 years old.
Never
like,
lucky. Never
I'm
lucky.
gonna die from a heart attack one day on my PC. That's for sure.
That'll be an interesting story on the news for sure. It's like,
Gamers
no, he
drops
was only
that
playing
over
for like
RNG.
10 minutes, but apparently he missed a coin flip and that made him lose the game. So yeah, he just stroked out and killed himself. You know,
Yep.
shit happens.
That shit happens for sure. By the way, you don't know anything about if they're coming back or not.
Oh, I have no clue, dude. I don't speak that. Maybe I should.
By the way,
Actually
did they
do a
laugh
little
at
bit, but I
my
don't tell people that I do because then they expect things of me.
did they laugh at my ni hao or at what the other strange purple signs said
I have
after
no idea,
my ni
dude.
hao?
Dude, speaking and reading Chinese is so different. Like, I can't read shit for Chinese.
You can understand some stuff?
Very limitedly. Barely. That's why I don't tell people that I do, because then they expect things of me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But reading,
Well,
I
when-
like nothing. Because it's like such a pain in the ass to like remember what every single symbol means. It's just not worth it.
Well, next month you're gonna be in Malaysia, so you have the chance to pick up some Chinese,
Don't they speak
practice
English
what you
there?
can. Huh?
What's the official language?
I know there are tons of Chinese-speaking people in Malaysia. That's all I know.
That's because it's in Asia.
That- Malaysia, official language. I would say Malaysian.
Well, I probably should have seen that one coming. What a
Wait, but-
surprise! Oh my god. Okay,
have to
well, it
actually-
looks like we're actually in a game, guys. So we should probably go see what's gonna happen there. GGuard, they're gonna put 3 heroes up on the top lane. This lane combination for GGuard, though potentially very dangerous, is really missing a good setup stun. Burrow Strike is not that skill, simply because it's level 1. Level 1 Burrow Strike is really bad.
Yep, definitely. And I just looked it up. Yes, it's my like. See? Educational stream. Either way, back to Dota here. We finally see the laning, and it's quite interesting, I have to say. We have to see if those tri-line action works out for them at the moment. GGuard is definitely the most aggressive one, and they're also going to contest these side pulls here at the moment by Chipex.
And it looks like Yamate will have a free roll down towards bottom. Queen of Pain versus Beastmaster, a very easy matchup there for the Queen of Pain, though it's not that bad for the Beastmaster. He should be getting levels as well. This is a tri-lane scenario where I mean, if you just put these 3 heroes in a head-to-head fight, no lanes or anything, like in mid lane or something, then 5FS should have a stronger one. Combine that with the fact that they're on the defensive lane, they have access to these pulls, they can more easily control their creep equilibrium, and they should have an advantage right now, unless the Vengeful Spirit gets burrow struck, but I don't really see Net being able to close the distance and actually do that. Maybe he gets a burrow strike on Miracle right now, surprise him from across the trees, but no, Miracle is just a little bit too quick.
Yep, and I'm also wondering how that Beastmaster is working out. If he goes for that ancient farming, which is still possible even after rearranging the map in, I don't know, 2 patches, 3 patches ago. I saw some Beastmasters actually losing all that farm because once he started axing those down, then someone came in and just cleared them when they were low, and there's not much you can actually do as a Beastmaster, but for now he can grab XP. Yamate doesn't drive him out with Shadow Strike, so for now everything's going fine on his lane.
Yeah, and it probably will be continuously fine until Yamate is able to get a little bit closer. Even with the Orb of Venom on the Queen of Pain, Yamate is looking to dominate this Beastmaster, and so far, not doing a terrible job. I mean, doing pretty well. Ysera has 0-0, is still working with a lot of potential gold in that Ancient stack. Up towards top, Miracle is also getting pushed out of his lane pretty aggressively, though GGuard, they don't really have the easiest ways of killing off this Juggernaut. They have many ways of threatening him, just with 2 range heroes in the Lina and the Arc Lightning spam from the Zeus. That's sometimes threatening enough to potentially set up for, you know, Miracle to have a tough time, and that's not ideal, but hey, at least it's something. You'd rather get kills if you have the chance. They're going to try to go for a dive, but yeah, the creep wave for the Dire is going to put a stop to all of that. This top lane is going to be a very, very dangerous place for anyone to go to.
Yeah, I mean, the Jugger only has 5 CS, so mission is sort of accomplished. Sure, you can't really kill him at this point, especially because he can just spin out. That's of course the biggest thing you can do against such a magical tri-lane, but he doesn't get any CS at this point. Now he finally got his 6th one and a lot of denies, but that's pretty much what it comes down to. Just stopping him is pretty good. How does the mid look? Because that's also a very interesting matchup here. At the moment the Magnus is definitely looking good, but we also have Ben now with that Orb of Venom trying to get something in, but well, at the moment HP wise it looks like Ben is pulling the shorter straw.
Yeah, with 18 kills, 9 denies right now for the Magnus, plus with the Shockwave advantage, this is going to be a lane that the Magnus is going to be winning, and that's pretty much non-negotiable. There's no way that Faceless Void, unless he gets support rotations in, is going to be pulling out ahead. He can maybe do decently in a heads-up fight, because he has time lock, because he has backtrack, but KS, with his Shockwave spam, with his bottle, and Ben currently has no bottle, he's going to be pulling ahead slowly but surely. This is potentially a little bit too greedy from GGuard, though it's really nice to slow down the Juggernaut's farm. I don't know if they've slowed it down enough to make this laning assignment worth it, because they're really throwing Ben to the wolves right now. I guess the Queen of Pain is doing very well, and that would kind of be the trade-off there, but still, Ben needs some serious help right now. Otherwise, this Mag is going to get an amazingly quick Blink Dagger, and, well, we know what happens when that happens. It's a very dangerous situation for GGuard to be in.
He has nice farm and especially nice levels at the moment. He's going to be level 6 with this creep pretty much, and yeah, he's going to be really happy. We have to see when he chooses to leave the lane and use that RP. Sometimes we see Magnus pretty passive, he doesn't really care, but sometimes they're like, yeah, I got my ultimate, I'm going somewhere, and that's it. And in theory, he could swap with someone else, taking that lane for a tiny bit, grabbing the experience while Magnus is heading off somewhere. Then again, it's too obvious, and everybody of GGuard will be super careful as soon as that Magnus leaves the lane.
Yeah, more likely it's going to be him approaching the Faceless Void over in mid and then randomly RPing, or it seems like randomly RPing. He really has Chibix and Poloson right behind him, ready to follow up with the stuns and actually get that kill. Right now, he doesn't even have enough mana for it, so Ben can breathe a little bit easier, but he's still working with not the greatest HP regen situation. Has to ferry himself out salves and tangos. That's never really what you want to be doing, especially 5 minutes in the game if you're Ben, and well, he might be in a little bit of trouble right now because the smoke has rotated in. KS still not with enough mana to RP, probably won't have that one involved in this particular
Oh, I think the
fight.
Beastmaster. Oh, never mind that.
Yeah.
Never mind that. It was 50 HP and ticking down, but yeah, he ate a tango, everything's fine for him, but that was goddamn close.
And that's pretty much to be expected. 34-20. Yamate's dominating this bottom lane, but similarly mid lane's being dominated. Up towards top, Poloson looking for a jump onto Winter. Will not get in range for a Fire Blast. Miracle not with enough mana. Actually does have enough mana to Omni Slash, so that could have been a very easy kill. These stunners from 5EV are so aggressively positioned themselves in this map, and well, Chibix is going to run to Ben right now. This is going to be a fight that Ben kind of does want to take because he has time lock. but he needs to time walk forward if he's actually going to get this kill or get a lucky bash. Chronosphere is up. Lawson's going to walk right into it. Is this first blood for Ben? That'll be huge for this Faceless Void. Shockwave comes in, Skewer up as well as the stun from the Ogre. He time walks to the north. He has a salve, has tangos, but I think the Ignite is lethal. It's going to be really close. He has to backtrack. He will survive, but it's going to be the Juggernaut to kill off the Zeus in the end. Ben's still on the run, however, this time has Link coming in. Dragon Slave up the high ground with Net spotting out. That'll be a kill on the Venge. Net still has that Burrow Strike, but Ben's going to get ignited again, and this one is definitely going to be lethal because Blossam's going to run in and hit that Faceless Void once, get the kill. Link also on the run. He should be fine. I don't think they can chase this one down. Fire Blast RP available, though. They are not going to commit that one just to try to get the Lina. It's probably not going to happen either. Winter's going to come in, but it is ultimately first blood being drawn by 5eva's Juggernaut.
I'm not really sure what that was because 10 there, he stayed invisible. I mean, he had the rune and everything was fine for him. He could have interrupted easily the Ogre and stopped that kill on the Void, so it would have been just a 1-1 trade. In the end, beautiful timing by the Magnus, just skewering him away, preventing that first blood from happening right there. So first blood going to the Jugger, and way better trade for 5ever here.
Yeah, and it's probably the best case scenario as well. Like, Miracle is going to be the hero that 5ever are going to put all their eggs in, and well, it's a Juggernaut with minus armor on his team, a plus attack speed from Bloodlust and Inner Beast and Empower. He's already off to a pretty decent start right now, and for GGuard, their Faceless Void is supposed to be the one to contest that physical race, but he initially is not going to be able to do it just because it's Faceless Void up against a completely roided out Juggernaut, and now being so far behind, Ben is going to struggle even more. Queen of Pain needs to jump into action soon enough because though it's nice having a free farming Queen of Pain, she is going to need to actually contribute to her team elsewhere aside from this bottom lane where she has yet to even get a kill.
Yeah, and we had Poloson at the moment just tanking that bounty rune and driving Winter off, so Winter at the moment doesn't even get much out of his lane, fed the first blood, and he also doesn't get the rune. This is really bad news for the Zeus, but then again, he's gonna be level 6 right now, so the ultimate is coming out, which is pretty good. We saw how close Yamate got, for example, the Beastmaster in HP, so calling for the power of heaven, that's pretty much what you can do from now on. Level 6 on the Zeus is always good news. You shall not escape.
Yeah, and that means Queen of Pain is a lot closer to getting those kills. Even Faceless Void, he got pretty close to actually killing off that Vengeful Spirit, and I think he probably got a little bit unlucky with his time locks. He hasn't gotten any more time locks since then, nor has he gotten any additional attack speed. But if he gets a little bit lucky, if he finds the Venge again with that Chronosphere, yeah, with Thunder God's Wrath, Faceless Void can probably work himself into a kill, or at least get a kill assist. And when you're this behind as a Faceless Void, sitting very firmly in the middle of the net worth chart when your allied Sand King has more net worth than you do, you take whatever you can get. And it seems like this, though mid lane Faceless Void is going to be played pretty much like he was in the off lane, or hell, even if he was like in the support role, just because he does not getting anything, and he won't get anything anytime soon.
Yep, I don't think so either, but we have to see. I'm still waiting for a big fat RP, but at the moment he's really just focusing on that Blink Dagger. He's halfway through, which is obviously good news, and now he's powering up Miracle there, giving him some cleave. Of course, making it easier for the jungle, some minor armor coming by the Vengeful Spirit. At the moment, everybody's really working on like just getting that Jugger really big.
And for GGuard, they're just working on Net's Blink Dagger. I think that's probably the biggest item pickup that they can grab in the next coming minutes that'll help them out directly in this game. Orchid on Queen of Pain is also coming out at a pretty decent rate, but up towards the top, they're going to catch Winter with a Magic Missile. No Skewer, no RP being committed just yet. I think the Shockwave missed, so that means that they don't go for that kill, so luckily he'll escape there. Miracle's getting roughed up by Ancients in the meantime. Thunder God's Wrath, Zeus, do it now. Don't do it now anymore. It's not going to be a kill, but Miracle there will clear out the, I believe, triple, maybe quad stack of Ancients. That's a hell of a lot of net worth. Chronosphere over in the mid lane, however, gonna catch KS. Thunder God's Wrath is there. LSA after the Chronosphere, but Mask is still surviving. He's gonna skewer it back onto Ben. Needs to RP if he's gonna survive, though. Will do so. Another Dragon Slave is cooling down. Here comes Blossom. Will stun Ling. Roar as well. And Link's gonna walk right into his death. Miracle's gonna close in as well. Sonic Wave up the high ground. Yamate's gonna blink forward into 4 heroes, trying to kill off whoever he can, but he's gonna get chopped down by Miracle. Way too much overcommitment there from GGuard. Net is gonna arrive to the scene a little bit too late, and 5ever get away. 2 kills richer without losing a single hero of themselves.
And Miracle wanted even more. He was looking for it. For this, he didn't even need to use the Omnislash. He has Omnislash now level 2, or did he even put a point in it? Now he puts it in there. And he was looking for more, and he might actually found 10 here, but yeah. No way to get him right there.
Yeah, level 2 spin, it's not going to do it, so Sand King is going to survive for right now, but man, so much overcommitment. The Lina, not really super high level. She's level 5, which is decent and everything, but they definitely overestimated the amount of damage that this Faceless Void can put out. He has maxed out Time Walk, which is all well and good, but if you're going to go for Chronosphere kills on a tankier hero like Magnus, you really need a lot of damage there, and a lot of damage is not what Faceless Void can offer to his team. So GGuard maybe just overestimating their damage output, and that's going to set them even further behind in a situation where they were already behind. 5 Eva, they're going to position themselves down towards bottom lane, and Yamate, he does do a lot of damage in theory, but he's also pretty vulnerable himself.
Yep, and babysitting that Jugger, it really works out. Looking at the net worth, we have 7.3k at the moment on the Jugger, and the next one is on 4.7, so we have a 3k net worth lead at the moment on this Jugger. He's really, really fat, but what I don't like is he is going for, well, invisibility. That's, I don't know, in comparison to Blink Dagger, I still think the not the best choice, but it's really how the player prefers it. In this game against the Zeus, I just don't think the Shadow Blade is the right thing to go for. Blink Dagger might have been way better, but let's see how it works out. It's done. The chicken will fly in pretty much soon, and then we have to see how much kills he finds with that.
Yeah, there are nice targets to kill, so aggressively the Shadow Blade is going to be really good, and that's ideally what you want to use the Shadow Blade for, but defensively, everything on GGuard they have hits invisible units. Yamate down towards bottom is going to get double stunned, but here comes the Epicenter from Net, going to connect onto Palasan as well as Ysera Burrow Strike through. Yamate will clean up the Ogre. Ysera going to try to TP out, will fall short as well. And that Blink Dagger from Net, I don't think it was necessary to save Yamate there, but it turned things around for a double. Miracle's going to arrive to the scene a little bit too late, however, he will get a free kill on Ling. Oh my god, that right click. Yeah, that was pretty disgusting. That's what Shadow Blade does for you, but so far he's yet to pay for itself. We'll see if it ever will. It's going to be a 2-for-1 overall.
He really likes to keep his Omni Slash, and absolutely justified. So, because he doesn't need to. That Lina is just dropping. Shadow Blade guaranteed crit from 0 to hero, from 0 to dead in this case, actually. But there is a pattern to all these ganks. Whoever is the aggressor is dying. GGuard tried it, tried the gank, tried to fight, and paid dearly for it. Now we had 5 Eva trying it, and suddenly GGuard makes the plays. But of course, this Roshan is gonna really make a difference. Like he's getting it so fast. 8.8k now, and oh, he's invisible, but directly into that sentry ward. So he's going down, but it's just, well, it's just the Aegis. So he's still back there, swap in, swap out, and the question is now, does he find more? Yamate is not a target you want to go for, so in the end, well, I think just the Lina will suffer here.
RP faked by the Magnus, and that's going to lead to the death of the Vengeful Spirit. Even trades there for the Lina, but that was actually probably the best that GGuard could have hoped for, assuming they don't lose anyone else right now. Net and Yamate still on the run, but with Blink Daggers and Blink skill, they should be just fine. Landing a 2-man Chronosphere, Sonic Wave through 2, that's not completely ideal for Ben, but at this point they'll take it and they'll be very happy with that. And 5 Eva, they just grabbed that Aegis. Still, it's gold and experience for that Juggernaut, and of course anyone else who was in the area close to him when the Roshan died, so it's still going to be nice for 5 Eva to make that exchange. But yeah, that's the threat that they have to try to avoid. If they get clumped up at all, then they're just going to get completely mopped up by this Chronosphere. In another 70 seconds, of course. You won't have it until then.
Yep, I mean, this was one of the shortest Aegises of all time, pretty much. Like considering there was no real Rosh fight, he's coming out of it, he's losing it, and they make a 1-1 trade plus the Aegis. So yeah, you're absolutely right. GGuard, that was the best they could hope for, because now they pretty much reset the game, except for the goal and everything that was, of course, involved in Roshan, not to mention the experience. So GGuard still in a fine position. However, if you look at the crafts, 5 Eva, well, top Beastmaster, easy kill there on a Queen of Pain, just coming in. That was so fast.
And so much stun duration as well. That's what RP and Aurora will do for you. If you could land one, you're probably going to be able to land the other. And with a Blink Dagger on Mag, landing a random RP after a Blink is very easy. Ben over in mid lane is going to be in a little bit of trouble perhaps. Miracle is walking around. Ling is none the wiser. Sentry gets dropped. Will not see Miracle. However, secondary Sentry will. And that Observe Ward is going to spot out Miracle for sure now. Juggernaut, definitely a very threatening hero. Has still yet to really use that Omni Slash, but yeah, he will be able to get out of there just fine. So far, Shadow Blade, though it hasn't really gotten him that much directly, it's been forcing out quite a few sentries, and it hasn't really hampered his farm. So I think the Shadow Blade, so far unpunished, is looking to do pretty decently, though I wouldn't expect that to stay the case in this game. So far, it's been a perfectly fine item.
Dire's middle
Yeah, and I'm
tower is
looking
under
forward when
attack.
that Beastmaster gets his Blink Dagger, because I think that might be actually his next item. Or he's completely skipping it, and we see a Necro build coming out of him. That's actually not too bad considering like the heroes you have on the other side. But at the moment we have some action in the mid. Well, Yamate is getting stunned up. It only translates in some damage, but there's the Chronosphere. I did not expect this one. Sure, they get at least one kill, but I think they pay dearly for it. At the moment, Chibix, he's going down. It's a 2-for-2 trade. The question is what's happening right after, because Miracle is there and he still has an Omni Slash. There it is, and that makes it a not so good trade for GGuard after all.
And Net, he blinked in, was trying to get in there with something. I don't think he actually casted anything after that blink. No Epicenter being channeled there, and they blinked in, seeing 2 targets, but it was a trap the entire time because 5EVA were just around the corner. And GGuard maybe should have been better off if they used the Thunder God's Wrath to start things off instead of just blindly jumping into a Chronosphere there. They would have seen everyone on 5EVA and they would have not made that play, but instead they lose the Faceless Void, who they cannot afford to lose right now simply because he is so far behind, and the Queen of Pain. The farm on this Juggernaut is exploding out of control. He's doubling up easily, the Queen of Pain. He's almost tripling up the Sand King, and he's just going to get stronger from here on out. The Empower now maxed out, and Miracle, he has really just only one item in his final 6-slot build. Mask of Mana, Shadowblade can easily be replaced. This guy's getting out of control farm, and GGuard don't really have any answers to this just yet.
I think it's been a long time I've seen someone having that kind of advantage. Almost 14k now on him. And the next one, the one who should challenge him, Ben on the Faceless Void, is on 4k. So we have almost a 10k lead on a single hero. And like if you compare the cores, and also if you think, okay, maybe Yamate can make a difference, but he's also on 6.5k. So at the moment, America way more than double it is. It's I don't know. I have no words for this, to be honest. I'm so scared of this Juggernaut, and to be honest, GGuard should be too.
Yeah, they have the hopes of landing a Chronosphere and then just bursting him down with magic. Between the Laguna Blade, Winter's damage output, and Yamate's as well, it's a possibility. And the fact still stands, if they lose Miracle, then they most likely cannot take a fight 5EVA. So they have to be very careful about how they position this Juggernaut. They're going to put him out as bait over in mid, and it looks like GGuard, they might bite. There's an Epicenter available for Sand King. However, Miracle is just going to run away pretty darn fast at that. They're still going to close in, and they still might catch Miracle as he catches this Ancient Camp. This is a double stack. It's not going to take him too long because of that Empower, but this is a big chance for GGuard to actually get a substantial pick off. But Smoke up for 5EVA as well, blink forward, and they're going to try to burst down Miracle, but he gets swapped out. And now the RP onto 4. Chronosphere is going to come in a little bit too late. It's going to catch 3 as well. Miracle's going to go to town, gets an instant double, and Ben just has to try to TP out. He won't even make it out. It's a triple for Miracle after a 4-man RP from Magnus. It's a complete team wipe in favor of 5EVA. Miracle stands strong, and now he's going to get even more and more ahead as he goes for a push.
I have no words for this fight. Like, the Voyage is way too late, and I was looking for good RPs. Here we come, 4-man RP. It's just, from the RP, the second RP is getting cast, you just see those HP bars just getting completely dunked down to 0. Absolutely amazing what 5EVA did there, and this was all just for one kill. They're just all dead, and GGuard now they face a 19 minutes high ground breach already.
And with no Chronosphere rather, it's gonna be really tough for them to actually defend this. They don't have a Sonic Wave either. Granted, 5EVA, they don't have an RP, but they will have Roar in just 30 seconds. Omnislash also wasn't even used there for Miracle, so he does have that asset to work with as well. They're instead just going to settle for a tier 2. It's only 20 minutes. They're in absolutely no rush considering the clip at which Miracle is farming. Has an ultimate orb in his inventory right now, so probably an Eye of Scotty for him. Might as well go for the biggest item you can find. They're going to jump forward for Ben. Time Walk out is there. Miracle's going to blink forward and catch them all in the Omnislash. That's 2 kills instantly. The rest of the team will deal with Net in the meantime as Miracle chases down for the 4th. One more slash will get him a triple. And Ling is awkwardly standing there just trying to figure out what the hell happened to his allies. This looks like it might just be game. The Juggernaut is way too fat, and he has Vengeful Spirit backup, just in case he does get in trouble. It is game.
Yeah, they were thinking about it like a minute or two, but I mean, 20k now on that Juggernaut. It's wow. It's absolutely wow. Miracle. The first game was everything but convincing, but in the second game he is showing why he's called Miracle and why so many people adore his kind of play. So this draft worked out very well for 5EVA, and it's happening. We get 3 games. GGuard now in trouble. The first game, I think they thought after the first game, well, guys, everything's gonna be fine. We had it very convincingly, playing conservatively, and everything is just turning out in our favor. The second draft 5 ever favoring their kind of playstyle, I think. And, well, game 3, here we come.
Alright, so we'll see if 5EVA can grab their $500 or if GGuard can bring it back. Maybe some different lanes for them. But for right now, guys, I'm Mikelrus. I've been joined by Heflamoke, and we'll be right back for game 3 between GGuard and 5EVA from the GGuard Challenge. Don't go anywhere.